What's up, everyone? It's your boy Infrared. Welcome to the Scott Reports. Today I am bringing you an anime review of Berserk, Episode 3, the make or break episode, as today is going to decide if people are going to drop this or if they're going to stick with it. I estimate about 90% of the people dropping this anime because they are just so disappointed by how this turned out that they're probably not going to just turn their back on it altogether and not even give it a chance. But without further ado, let's get down to the breakdown of this episode, as it starts off right where we left off, with Guts with Farnese in tow, making a path to some type of destination while he is being pursued by Serpico, who's right behind him. However, Serpico gets preoccupied by a bunch of hellhounds, and these hounds are also making chase for Guts as he goes to the destination that he says he was trying to get to anyway before he was captured, which is a filler but not filler house that is inhabited by an apostle who's ready to feast, primarily on noble women just like Farnese, just like the one he keeps on display there, and the creep level in this episode definitely went to the roof. And this episode shows us the twisted views of the apostles and the type of people that they are. As this man in particular, he had like a taste chart. He says, if you're sweet to me and you're nice to me, then you taste good. And if you're mean to me and you berate me and call me ugly, then you're nasty. And the thing with apostles is they tend to be in the guise of religious figures and the type of people that other people would trust. So I'm sure he had his fill of sweet meat as being somebody that people would always trust, because they're usually like a priest or a teacher or something. Then they turn to this big ass monster. But anyway, again, he is particularly fond of Farnese, as he reminds him of this lady that he actually has the remains of sitting up like a statue, kind of like a deer head, that he wants to taste her. He wants to have that same type of taste with her that he had with Farnese. And we get a little bit of backstory on this apostle, who actually showed up a lot earlier in the manga. This was one of the people that Guts took out later on. So even though it was filler, I think this fit in a little bit nice, because in the manga at this part, it was just Guts and Farnese in the forest. So to add this and add a nemesis in the sake of a apostle, I think it was a nice little change to it. But getting off back into the topic, Puck actually tries to touch the mural or whatever it is that he has of this young lady, and when he touches it, the apostle gets really upset. But Puck also gets a flash to see the type of perverse manner that this guy has within him, as he was like straight up sniffing this chick's panties, and something went wrong. She caught him. She didn't trust him anymore. Long story short, he ended up eating her. That pisses the apostle off. But this is where Guts gets to go in, and he takes out this apostle very cleanly with the dragon sword. And once he hits him, he didn't finish him off yet, because he used this time to actually torture this apostle to try to find out the location of the God Hand, or to find out a little bit more about him before he found out that what he told him was useless, and he goes ahead and kills him from here. While Gus is preoccupied with that, Farnese takes this chance to run away as she tries to escape, but she cannot believe what she's seeing. She's seeing demons, she's seeing hellhounds. This just goes against everything that she believes as she makes chase. Which brings us to the infamous scene that I didn't think we were going to see in Berserk. We actually do get that infamous scene as she's making her run for it, and she runs into a horse and tries to get the horse to aid her. And we get the infamous rape horse scene as he turns to her and said, "No, you can't mount me, I'm gonna mount you." And he gets on top of her, and it's censored, rightfully so, but it was still just as chilling in the manga, because they still managed to show what they needed to show, with the horse pretty much violating Farnese. But before he can do the deed, Guts shows up and cleanly chops the damn thing heads off, with the dragon sword stopping just clean of Farnese's neck, and she's there scared shitless, rightfully so, because if that thing would have dropped another inch, she would have been done. Farnese runs off once again, even when Guts telling her, "Don't do that again, stick by me if you want to live." And as she runs away this time, she actually gets possessed by a demon, because this demon gets to her, and as she's questioning her faith, as her faith is completely broken, this demon says to her that you are weak. You are not what your God wants. Your God looks down upon you. Everything that you do to yourself, torturing this man, beating yourself, and all the darkness in your heart, and the thing that I touched on last episode as well, while I was saying she was beginning to like what she was doing to Guts. And all this darkness, this demon basically says your God looks down upon it because you actually enjoy it. And she's so broken right now that it allowed her to be possessed by this demon. and she goes in and she sees Guts and pushes him down and starts to violate Guts, and she rides on top of his dragon sword, begging for him to actually split her open with it, unlike what happened in the manga. But again, rightfully so, it was censored because I don't think they could have showed what really happened. When this goes on, the sun happens to come up, and when the sun rises while Guts is being violated, this drives the demon away, and Serpico shows up to see everything that is going on, and an embarrassed Farnese basically wants Serpico to kill Guts. Like, this is all his fault. Kill him. Look what he did to me. I'm embarrassed. I'm shamed. Take him out. But Serpico, he's a smart dude. He's like, I cannot beat this man. I can't. So that's not going to happen. However, he does take this moment to try to test his might against Guts and sneak attacks him, but it does get blocked very cleanly as Guts just brushes it off and says, "You're not ready, kid. Get out of here." And Serpico gives him his respect as well, and he actually bids him farewell by thanking him for saving Farnese, and he hopes that he can see Guts again, perhaps on the same side of the field. However, they do still need to apprehend him as Farnese vows that she will bring him in for her leader. And in a nutshell, that was the episode. However, they didn't have an ending scene this week, as they used the extra time of the ending scene to show the King of Tudor has now died. And his daughter, as you know, Charlotte, she is still distraught over the disappearance of Griffith, as we have not seen him because no one knows what happened with the eclipse. So she has to pick a regent now, and her father is dead. But while they were worrying about that, there's also an army coming outside with a big ass elephant that's marching onto the city, and that gives us the end of the episode. So overall, I can definitely say that this episode was better than episode 2 even. So it looks like the quality of everything is getting up and up, as it was a very solid episode. But now to get on to the things that we really need to address, as we're in episode 3. Again, this is the make or break episode of this series. Now, the state of the union for Berserk itself. I know us Berserk fans, us manga readers, and etc. don't want to settle. But I've already said that if they can nail the conviction arc, I think at the very least this could be a watchable adaptation. Yes, the CGI is bad. Yes, the animation is bad. Yes, they skipped a ton of shit. But if they can nail this arc, then it succeeded. And that's what I think. And again, I enjoyed this episode. I really did enjoy the last 2 episodes, and I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go ahead and give it a chance. So if everybody else drops it, at least you know your boy Infrared is going to have it here every week for you guys, whether it's 12 episodes or 24. I'm in for Berserk for the long haul. Although I do feel sorry for the anime onlys, as they kind of dropped us right in the middle of an arc without really explaining everything that they needed to explain, and a lot of development was skipped. And again, that's the nasty side that we hear week after week after week about this series. But I have to be completely honest with you guys, the series isn't that bad. Last episode was good. This episode was even better than last episode. And also, the mangaka Murata, Kentaro himself, he actually overseeing this episode, and I believe he's going to oversee some things in the future. So at the very least, I trust him with this series, and I'm going to go ahead and stick with it and see where it goes. Plus, we also get some extra or interesting things that we're going to see next episode, as in the preview we see Casca. We also see Guts talking to Rickard before he left off on the journey to take down the Snake Baron. So at the very least, even though it looks like they're pulling from different arcs and trying to mesh it in together, they are going to go back and I hope at least show us how he got the Dragon Sword, because that was the last time that he saw Rickard, was right after the eclipse, and when he was with the old man in the cabin and he got the Dragon Sword in the story. So maybe they're going to go back and clean everything up from there. Also, something that was very good in the end credit scene is that we see the prophecy of the return of the Silver Hawk. So everybody knows what that means. Shit is about to hit the fan. Also, next week we're going to get our first glimpse of the big bad of this arc in Muscus. So I'm interested to see how that is as well. So I guess basically what I'm saying overall is give this series a chance. We're overreacting. We're all overreacting. I'm even overreacting, as I made not only a live reaction, I made a video of me just tearing into this as a series in episode 1. As episode 2 and 3 came along, as a manga reader, as somebody who's looking at it with, I guess, with rose-colored glasses, and I don't want to say I'm settling, but it's just that I'm so happy to see Berserk after like 20 years. it's not that bad. I think it's going to get better, and I'm going to stick with it. One thing that I also liked about this episode as well is the clang sound that the dragon sword made every time Berserk went in, just that clang, clang. So now you're going to hear that every time something gets to work from Guts. Guts is definitely carrying the series, as he is just as badass as we expected him to be. It's just the shortcomings that we have to deal with this series. Also, I liked how Guts was patronizing Farnese as she's just in shock of everything that she's seeing with all these demons and monsters running around, and Guts are saying, you know what? You were looking for a miracle, right? Miracles are things that can't happen. Here's your miracle right here. These aren't supposed to be real. This isn't supposed to happen. Where's your God now? So I like that with Guts. I like that grittiness that he has that's conflicting with the overpowering holiness that Farnese has. Kind of light dark thing, just like I said last week. They pulled it off really well. And damn it, I love that. Hi-yo! I love that. I love it. The music is actually pretty good. Overall, I mean, I know I'm rambling a little bit, but at the same time, I'm making good points. It's like, I know this isn't the adaptation that we wanted, but at the same time, it's not that bad. Please give it a chance, or at the very least, if you're thinking about giving it a chance or you want to come back later and see what happened, your boy have every episode here. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys very much for joining me. As I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me, and I really appreciate that. So thank you guys for stopping by. If you liked the video, go ahead, drop it a like. Definitely know what you guys think in the let me know what you guys thought in the comments about this episode. I love chopping it up with you and bouncing off theories and, you know, kind of what's going on with Berserk. So definitely leave a comment, drop it a like, and if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as there's not a shortage of content for you to indulge on this channel. Check you out next time. I'll see you guys later. Be sure to check out my 91 days review, which will more likely be up tomorrow because it's getting a little bit late for your boy. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. It's your boy Infrared signing out. See you soon.